so here's the first trap set. Shot's gonna come out, Honey Badger gonna find one, and Batunga's now having to drive off and potentially save himself, but that is not the start that Yellow Jackets wants to see.
Kane already had to make an emergency break into this as well. Honey Badger's going to be driving by. Back behind this, Future did stop because they heard what was going on. They were falling behind Yellow Jackets, so a very awkward positioning coming up for Kane, as the rest of Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown seem to have an exact idea on where he's at. Got to step around, get down, and there's 2 points already, and Dragon Tiger Beryl jumped up to 10th. Future is slow rolling into this, which means the fact that they're going to use this, try to run by as fast as possible. Batungas is going to find out. Cowboy going to go ahead and lasso him up that one. So picking up yet another kill, and just like that, already up into 8th place. Wrap around. It's not going to be the easiest wrap, given the fact that the river is cutting through that like north, I don't know, 20%. And this is kind of what I was expecting to happen. And Honey Badger is getting spotted out by LG, who's defended up along this line.
As Tilton now do have some neighbors coming in. It's going to be Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown, actually, that's going to be driving by.
Just rolling right by Tilt Town. A good use of this, trying to figure out how many people are shooting at him. They said, no, this building could be free. Using the cover that is provided, they're jumping in. They've got a couple of shots that are coming at him, but Elevate is also rotating just to the west of this. Oh, that nade absolutely destroyed them. They picked up a couple of points early, but they are going to be the first team officially out.
Man, and that I almost saw that happening. Those buildings are that single building is so difficult to play from, especially if it's 3 or 4 members up. So unfortunate there for Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown, but nice little defense there from Tilton as we now see Friendly Fire and Elevate embroiled in this battle here in this 2-story prio just to the west or northwest of Volcano.
And this is a fight to get some type of momentum going. Rock is going to hit the nade, and Elevate trying to fend up with just Shinboy still in there. You can see it's a little bit complicated to try to get in or out, given the fact that there's a bicycle on one side and a vehicle on the other one. So now doing a couple of jukes through, trying to hit the spray, but Shinboy just cannot find the angle that's going to work. Numbers advantage eventually going to go in favor. 0-0 Nation is going to get eliminated, and here comes Shinboy having to deal with the push right now as the jukes are coming up big, but it's just the numbers advantage making it complicated. The flash is going to come out, and that's going to be all she wrote.
Nice try there from Shin, but again, really great breaching practices there coming out from Friendly Fire, but now they may potentially lose Volcano, but that's a knock!
That was just
Rebo!
Where was that angle from for them to work around inside of this? But they're still trying to make the foot push in. They realize the fact that they've got the opportunity, so they're trying to see if they can capitalize fast enough. Flood is going to hit the nade onto this, so numbers advantage in this push coming out. We saw the fact that this can be a little bit complicated to work around, but notice Sharpshot is isolated up here with Page, so he needs to try to get this res or at least distract for long enough, but the push is already coming up. Grenade's going to go ahead and hit, and LG just makes that clinical, man.
That timing was so good because they did have the other 2 members of their team fighting in that prio, but honestly, ZVIRE helping out quite a bit. Rebo finding the knock initially onto Rello from the other compound just to the northeast and helping out Friendly Fire just a bit, but not enough. LG's going to take a beautiful position in this with 3 up.
Soniqs still needs to move, and they've got Decimate that's directly in front of them, Synergy that just made that jump in. It looks like they might be eyeing to see if they can get a drive-by shot onto this, but not a lot. Actually, it's going to be Pippa yet again that gets a good knock and flush onto H-Win. Circle is going to favor this location, so that means the fight doesn't have to get too quick. They can just try to see if they can work around it, but Tickleton just bold as hell walks right up into Synergy. He's trying to juke through, goes for the shots. He runs out of ammo, is going to go down. Kraken runs up, trying to go for the flush, is going to take him down. Soniqs now having to contend with this very entrenched Synergy as Soniqs are going to get eliminated. So they want to play this much slower. Keep in mind, Tiltown wants any points. They're now in that cusp position that we just saw Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown at. But Synergy, dude, these guys are vibing right now. That Pippa has just been decimating teams, no pun intended, against Decimate all around him.
Yeah, and then again, we were talking about it yesterday. Where is that Pippa that we saw last year in PCS, the player that was just topping all the leaderboards? Seems like he is starting to find his groove again. And that's going to be dangerous for everyone else, but look at this. Clemson getting the off angle, trying to go for the spray. Doesn't find anything there. He's going to flash just so he can kind of get out and retreat. It's going to slow them down just a bit.
There's the potential for a third party and Ratz hearing this. A lot of nades coming out on Tiltown side, but not really connecting the way they want to. Vehicles, but that hit onto Pippa could be enough. If they're paying attention to kill feed, they could try to pounce off of this. The Spoon is also contemplating making a more aggressive play, as it's going to be Ratz continuing creeping into this one, but Not a lot really happening just quite yet as STK's Adam is going to get flushed out. This is going to be a fight that's going to be on the opposite side of the circle, up in the northwest, as is going to be Fiumba trying to gatekeep out what's going on with STK. But we still have Roth and the other members trying to hold out as Tilttown manages to do what Soniqs couldn't and takes down Synergy.
Damn, and Marunin with 6 kills. He obviously did get a few of those the way of Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown, but beautiful plays there using the utility that he had in the flashes. But oh, as I say that, the Spoon finally get a strike. Ratz has seen the opportunity and they want these points.
They sent Finna and Hello Senpai in a vehicle to just get a flanked position up in the north. Tilttown now just having to full-on retreat. Clemson running, trying to make it to the cover of that wall, and it looks like the Spoon might spot him out and does manage to hit the shot. So Tilttown goes down and I guess wins the Southeast because, my God, there are so many dead squads over here. Shout out to Ratz as well with those 3 kills, now up into 3rd place overall, having now jumped over 0-0 Nation and Soniqs. Decimate, though, trying to see if they can put a stop to any run of points that they're trying to accumulate at the time. Fiumba having to deal with, surprise, surprise, throwables from shoot to kill, and while there are only 2 of them, nades can kind of equalize that one out. Foldable shield's gonna provide some support, but Alo, close range king, trying to find some more. 3 members now down, and he's just trying to get the flushes, pick up whatever points he can, as he is now tied up to 0-0 Nation. Fiumba, even Emmy, taking a ton of damage off of this. How aggressive does he want to play? Go for the shots, but no! It is going to be 22 that picks it up, moving aggressive, backfilling behind, shoots a kill, and now looking down into Fiumba's very damaged position.
Gonna get Rebo up, and again, circle's starting to close, so 22 needs to make this fight happen as quickly as possible. Moses gonna find a knock, but he's gonna have to prone out, and Cloud's gonna get the trade.
They're just doing so good on this one. Waiting for Posa. He's going to just make a juke around the smokes. It's bold to do at this stage. 17's 19 alive. Spots out the butt, but doesn't get enough damage on. Finally finish them out. 22 is going to go down, and Emmy is thanking them for that one. Going back to the fight that's been going on for a circle or so. It's going to be Ratz getting a good vision in the rotation of Decimate, but not too much that they can do as they were spread across this hillside. Fisher kind of harassing them as they've been going.
Yeah, Decimate's been really taking their time, trying to do, as you said, as much damage to 22 as well as ZVIRE as they could before actually taking this fight with the Ratz. But the good news for them, at least, is they're starting to at least kind of push them down towards that downhill angle that ZVIRE might have. The bad news is they still need to actually find a place to play once they finish this fight.
It is so scary to step up that hillside right now. Nobody wants to move in. There is only Fisher that has good vision in this from ZVIRE. And ZVIRE did also get their res back on Ali, I believe, so they are regrouping as Fiumba was trying to move in. Fake Zen trying to get some shots in on Finna, but it's going to be Grant Lannis that takes down and 1, and a quick flush as well. Finally, retaliation coming out from Vinny as Grant Lannis is going to go down. But, I mean, this is a lot of work, and Decimate did not get what they wanted.
No, and they still don't have what they want because they have to step over it. Again, find just some sort of cover. They will have a little bit of a hill here as far as their reprieve for the time being, but I mean, even Ratz have kind of just had to send it into this very awkward situation where ZVIRE has pretty much all the utility they need to try to bombard them with a little bit of a mini airdrop here with these nades.
Alzera did stay behind looking at Emmy and Fiumba. He does take them out. That pushes us down to 5 teams alive. Ratz are pretty close to ZVIRE, but really the bigger issue is LG that has some vision. Circle pops and favors ZVIRE's positioning, and Decimate. Oh, this is going to be harsh, man. LG got the knocks. LG, you know they're going to move this opportunistically. They got what they wanted. LG gonna have to thank some Ratz players as they took some shots and Cloudzera forced him to move back. Oh! Hey, Despoon gonna go ahead and hit the spray into it. Fisher now with some vision, doesn't want to quite take the shots just yet, but Despoon gonna pick up another one as LG is inside the zone with some of their members, aka Snakers, but see the other ones, not quite yet. They could move into that lower section right below, and I think that's what they're eyeing. They're just going to try to cut it in as fast as possible. Raibo doesn't have a good angle to work with, and LNG has at least managed to get 2 of their members into a foothold position. Alzera now also taking a ton of damage off of it. Throwables coming out. They've now been enough to stall, but with this, Finna, I think, is making a counter move so he can go after the Spoon to try to get the res onto him. Alzera doing miracle work, being a massive distraction to LG and allowing ZVIRE to reposition, as well as Ratz to get something out of this.
This is a crazy endgame, the way that we've kind of set all these teams up. I mean, Snaker's just barely surviving, Flash coming out, but yes, that revive coming back from Finna and Ratz. Beautiful use of this misdirection here caused by LG.
And now they have to be careful because LG's position
Look
just
at
became
Flood.
that much more vulnerable. The spoon goes down. He's going to get flushed out because of the zone. That's going to feel bad. All right, Finna, going to try to make some close. There it goes down, and LG finds the key. Now they have some opportunities to start making their way forward, but let's not forget, Finna is still back behind them and can backstab at any moment. Rybo out of throwables, looking down this hillside, and remember, ZVIRE have been over here defending this for a long time. They also move aggressively into that hillside. I don't know how many throwables they have left to get LG out of this.
No, and I think they've completely lost track of Finna. So just now, no, he's gonna strike and he's actually gonna knock Snakers. That's gonna help ZV huge. It's just down a kick and that's it. ZV will take it. I agree 100%. And now Elevate, yeah, they're just going to come straight across, and they might even get a frag on one of the members here of Yellow Jackets. Yep, they are. Oh. They're just going to run Yappa over. That's, this is a big blunder for them.
Potential of 3 different kills coming in. And, hi, Pippa. I don't think that Pippa was quite expecting an entire squad to jump on top of him, and that's kind of what's going to happen. All right, 3 members now making the push in, and Pippa is going to hear that glass break as well as the pitter-patter of feet. How is he wanting to do here? He's going to have a ton. He knows it's a ton of people.
Yeah, still a very awkward angle, though.
Yeah.
This is not usually where you would find someone kind of camping out or trying to play from this. So again, he might be able to catch one. If they're not careful, I mean, that Tommy gun up close can do a pretty decent amount of damage, but he also might just be able to to survive this if they don't find him. Maybe they thought it was just a one. Oh god, here he goes. He's gonna get one. And that's the flush. Yep, that was work. He did his job. That's very annoying for STK, but Pippa did what he was supposed to do in that situation, is just get the point, because he knew he wasn't making it out of there alive.
Did Pinta see them, though? He started driving out, and I think he might have spotted him out. Halo's going to go ahead and get taken down quite early and flushed. So what do, STK? You got here early, you got control over the compound, but Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown wants to pick up them points. That also does mean that this standoff, sit-off, I guess is the better way to say it, because nobody's really moving. It's more everybody crouching around. Oh, Pinta realizes that he's going to have to go for it, and Adam and Pinta find a crossfire angle to work with. Adam is going to go down, but there was a massive cost in that. Now he's going to figure out that there's going to be a lot of Dragon Tiger Beryl that are all going to peak at the same time. Does get spray, doesn't get Vegas down. This is not the most comfortable position to be fighting in if you're Tilt Town. They do also have Yellow Jackets that are going to be pretty close to them. 0-0 Nation did hear this firefight. It's going to continue on their way to the south. We've got 22 that's going to be rotating right next to Ratz as well as Synergy, so you might see a couple of kills pop off on that one. Arillo back against the wall, still trying to make something work. Can he hit the shots on that one? They got really close to hitting Maroonin, but he is the last member up for LG, who's presently in first. They do have some breathing room. They're going to go down, but this is going to be Fiumba chance to make up a lot of points, and even Ratz to try to catch up.
I'm very curious what the circle's about to do as we watch it close here. And here we go, Elevate. This is what we were so worried about. It is going to shift down to the south, so ZVIRE will have to come up, but Elevate is just in such a difficult situation. Shinboy and Punaj are already down. It's just down to Ethan and Guts.
Ratz are going to be right along the edge of the zone, but it's going to be Soniqs just playing to the west inside that compound right next to the bridge that have a good firing line into Ratz. So Ratz just trying to do some damage control, want to keep up the spoon. Finna just going to go ahead and stick this one, taking the shots, realizing he can try to get something. 0-0 Nation gets a knock on one of his teammates. That's an uphill battle, so I'm willing to bet somebody just accidentally walked in front of him. So
sure,
I have to keep an eye on that.
I'm looking at Soniqs as well. They might actually just go for the coast here. They have hills that would cover them, and there's some little ridges that they could definitely play as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually just ended up staying on the beach and trying to make plays from there. But as we look at future, they're going to be moving up, trying to finish this fight between themselves and 00 Nation. This VHZ down, Sparking goes down as well, and I believe it's just down to LFP1 now.
Good read from Tilt Town, also realizing what's going on. They're going to be moving aggressive into this, but that's across an open field, and LFP reads it, gets a double out of it so far, and there's nothing that can be had. Tilt Town was not in a position to try to reinforce Savage and Joshi. Both of them don't have much to work with, trying to regroup, and whoa, that was almost bad.
Dude, LFP1 right now is a Terminator. He got that disgusting long-range spray. He got another knock as well. He's trying to make it. He's in the open. It's probably not going to happen, but hell of a try from him. Maroonin's at least going to get rezzed as well. Tilt Town would stay as 3.
Ratz have been so caught up dealing with Soniqs and really elevate down below them. Sniper's got the nade prepped, it's cooked, but he was expecting them to go, goes for the spray out. He's gonna get the knock on the spoon, but he's gonna go down. The rest of Future coming up. Hello, Senpai's got himself some cover. Car's gonna blow up though. That cover and it rolls right up on top of him. He stays alive narrowly, but there is a ton of Future that he's gonna have to deal with in the very near future.
I am shocked that he stayed alive with that car landing on top of him. Vegas going to find Josh Alpha in the distance, a separate fight altogether. But man, that spray from Hello Senpai was disgusting. As he just goes for one more and he finds it before he goes down. Nicely done, Hello Senpai. Beautiful stuff. Again, it's about finding those kills where they can when things are not going right. And look at this, Ethan now with the P90, just the most disgusting weapon PUBG has to offer right now.
Using it to pick up at least a kill out of the situation as he's got a Trek in front of him. The other two members for Future were playing the opposite side of the hill. And remember our shack situation going on with 22? It's pretty bad because neither one of those shacks are going to be inside this next circle. And Fiumba is keeping an eye on them as well as Future. Elevate is going to go down as they're going to get spotted out. And Soniqs are having some issue making this rotation as there's just a lot of different angles. And I don't think that they were expecting so many people to just commit in, but H1's like, you know what? Fine, I'm just going to hold this angle, go for it. Trimsy's trying to get some as well, but you mentioned it a second ago, Rusty Zero with that P90, dude, it just rips.
I mean, Quinn had a beautiful spray starting, but he didn't even matter. That P90 took him down so fast.
Down there on that sneaky position. You can spot out what's going on. Does get the shot on a great shot, but the vehicle eats a couple of shots while it's going after Cowboy. Doesn't matter in the end. That's what the rest of the team is for. We got South America, 3 teams, all 4 members up and a hill between them that can kind of separate out how everybody's wanting to look through this one.
Oh, Capitan!
Decimate. And God, so many nades, Fiumba racking it up and now just 2 points behind LG.
They may just pass them up. ZVIRE, though, have been sitting on the north side of this for quite a while. Emmys is going to kick us off. He's going to find the first knock on Rebo, and Silza now trying to get an angle and slowly creep.
ZVIRE wants this. If they can manage to get a victory, they can jump over Soniqs inside this leaderboard, but it looks like it's not going to relent. DraftKings going to step up, get another knock. It is now a 4v2. That hill between them is totally gone. His flanks coming around both sides, making sure to pick these up before they go. It's going to be Fisher, and Ali still going to be up. Fisher does at least manage to hit one on the Capitan, but it is now a 3v1 situation with Ali RV hiding back behind this and throwing out the nade, see if maybe he can connect in the big way. Molotov is going to be what comes out. Ali gets the shots onto Silza, does get the knock onto him, but it costs him half of his life. Instead, just going for the kills. Can he get the reload in time? Flashbang's going to come out, doesn't matter. Fiumba picks it up, and now it is going to be 14 kills and Fiumba in first.
Friendly Fire actually getting very dangerously close to Tilt Town as they're going to stop on this hill. And this is going to be the first fight of our map, but is it going to go Friendly Fire's way? Here we go, stepping up Maroon, and he's going to find one. He's been the all-star for the team, but he's now solo as the rest of his team is driving in.
Yeah, that was just an instant down and a flush onto Clemson, so Clemson's been having some good work that he's been able to put in as well. So with this, Friendly Fire starting to drop a couple of smokes because they do have some sight lines that are going to be coming out from Synergy. So now moving more aggressively to the opposite side of the hill, seeing if maybe they can find some. But Joshi, though, having too many angles he's trying to control, doesn't have anything that he can work with. He's going to go down. And now Friendly Fire has to contend with what's going to be happening. Maroon doing a good job turning this back around in some degree with just 2 members of Friendly Fire up, looking into Tilt Town on the opposite side with just 2 up.
Yeah, Maroon honestly has been so impressive for me when it comes to Tilt Town. You want to talk about some of that fragging power. He definitely has been that in spades. He's been so consistent. He also knows when to back off and keep himself out of trouble. The problem is the rest of his team has actually fallen, so it's now just down to Maroon to try to survive, and he's got Elevate shooting on his backside as well. Will he get away? No, he will not. It's going to be Gats to find him, and Ayla was actually re-knocked Page.
I feel so bad for Tilt Town because it's just the first circle every time. They move early, doesn't work. They move late, doesn't work. It's just, it feels like no matter what they're trying, they can't find the recipe for success.
Yeah, there is a lot of crates. M762 is, I'm sure, they're going to pick up a P90 somewhere in there as we see 00 Nation now starting to make their approach into the side. They're going to find a member of Decimate, and one is going to go down. This fight's been opened. And the advantage definitely in 0-0 Nation as Spark King is also going to find Vinny and flush him out.
It's like at game 3, suddenly everything changes for the squad. I don't know. Picking up some kills already. And with this, they're also going to be forcing Decimate back into Fiumba's firing lines. So that's a secondary added benefit is what they're trying to get out right now. They just do have to be careful of Fiumba themselves, though.
Capitan just ripping the head off of VHC, and now he's got to be careful, though. Synergy has found him. That's going to be an easy knock for them and probably a flush. Yeah, that definitely doesn't help. Future now going to find the opening. It's another nade going to knock Batungas as well. And taking position here in the southeast is actually pretty crucial. This is a really great spot to start assaulting that hilltop from, but again, Trey's back and forth. The fight still definitely in Yellow Jackets' favor, or excuse me, in Future's favor.
Trying to make the push 2 different sides of the building, and all of the Yellow Jackets are stacked up. They're trying to swing their way out of it, though. Kane taking a lot of damage. There is a ton of people stacked up over behind those cars, and it does not take much more as Future is going to be able to pick them up and should be able to get the res on the shaft. Use the terrain, break out sight lines, maneuver through, see no windows on the building that they're trying to pass around.
Oh, man.
And just clean.
Yeah, but
losing just him is good.
It's definitely not bad. I will say for the situation, you're not wrong, but that was a very risky rotation in between both the Soniqs as well as Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown.
Yeah, jumps in, and they are going to be looking or directly down into where we see Ratz playing from, so they're going to be approaching onto that. Future also going to be pushing up into this one. Ratz playing it a bit more aggressive. Back into the Fiumba and 0-0 Nation fight because this just feels like this is going to never end. STK is still going to be playing into the west of it, but keep in mind, they're caught up taking shots into what's going on with Synergy. So if any of these fights end up going too quickly, we might see just an immediate wrap as 0-0 Nation has to pump the brakes because they're going to have Friendly Fire that's going to be taking shots into him, but Friendly Fire has to stop taking shots into 0-0 Nation because Soniqs are coming in back behind. It is just every single time somebody shoots a full squad, pushes up the hillside and says,
"Oh, the nades!"
Out of it. Sharp Shot is going to go down from the nade from Mime, but Mime's going to go down from peeking up at the top of it as Roth is going to spot him out and at least slow down the fight for a moment.
The amount of nades that just came at Sharp Shot's feet was actually kind of ludicrous, as Soniqs now trying to take this fight and take this position away from Friendly Fire, as they would pretty much have control. But if you look now, LG has started to get interested in this, and a beautiful opportunity for them, the third party as well. As Ting gets a nade exploded in his face, he survives it, the spray won't be enough, Pixel finds it, this is a mess.
Can't stop, won't stop. Friendly Fire down to 2. You can see Soniqs trying to fight their way back into it, but it's going to be all LG's favor. They're just wrapping into this one. Shrimsy, see if maybe he can get something. He's going to go down. LG still sitting at 4, now looking into that direction that Friendly Fire was at. It's just going to be Roth and LG now getting control over the north in a high ground position. I feel like whenever LG gets the high ground, it's never a good thing for the rest of the teams.
It's absolutely not, and their timing on that was absolutely beautiful. They saw the knocks come in, they came in, and they cleaned up Soniqs and Friendly Fire. To be fair, Soniqs and Friendly Fire have done quite a bit of damage. Whoa! I thought for sure that was going to be a team knock. Nice little trigger discipline there coming out. But now we move over to the Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdowns as Elevate, again, is just struggling in this. Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown have actually done a really great job of kind of cleaning up their edge. I believe they have 6 kills, if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to just continue to kind of clean this up and now actually have a pretty decent foothold where we see Cowboy moving to. But this is ZVIRE now in that position on the south side. I said this was going to be a troublesome spot, even though they were safe for the time being. And these grenades could be devastating if they land in that door. Fisher, I don't know if he knows.
There is so much. 22 is just trying to run through. You can see they're so low on life. They're just trying to rein in whatever they can. Fisher's going to go down. Notice the fact that Rebo's already moved out of this one. He's the last one up. He just had to get out of there. The problem with it is Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown. They've controlled all of these. There's nothing over there. So they can run back into this position. 22 still just trying to creep forward. But remember, Synergy, STK, all here in this firefight, but they're more caught up with what's going to be going with LG, who got control of the north. Rebo, though, coming back down, says, okay, I'm at least going to pick up a couple of kills, a couple of points out of that. Honey Badger, though, spots out what's going to be happening up at the top of it, and now it's going to be killed Demo off the side angle, seeing if maybe he can get something. He's going to go down. Cowboy's going to be the one that spots him out. 22 is going to get eliminated, and it's just going to be a matter of time before Rebo, unless he can take down all of the 9-kill Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown.
Yep, and they have to commit this way. I think North was probably their best option as they come in. Raining down as you see Snakers and the rest of the members of LG switching to those Augs, knowing that the battle is coming for them. As Honey Badger now stuck right in between the blue nade. He's actually going to go down. Excuse me, it's going to be a reload that goes down. Honey Badger's just going to go down to blue. SDK Definitely with the advantage here as 0-0 Nation now outside as well, and LG and M762 just know that they need to take this fight and at least win it, because they go down, they're pretty much going to get shredded by the other teams out, and Greg Shot's going to get knocked, Flot finding another one, LG still managing to survive somehow. That's another knock kick, gonna find it, and all of them down. The duo of LG will survive, and 8 kills to their name, 4 the way of the Flood, 2 from Kick, and Snakers went down with 2 as well. I mean, at
Here
this
comes
point,
what LG needs.
Yep.
That's nades coming out from 0-0 Nation. They're starting to harass STK. It looks like they're wanting to move more aggressively into this one. Finally, we are in the last circle, so they're just trying to collapse in. They realize that they can get control over the circle as a team that they're trying to rival up against it on the opposite side. Kickstar's just going to feed it over the blue zone. Adam, he's going to go down from shots from the sparking, and now we've got 0-0 Nation with control over the circle, and STK with their backs against the wall. Gizera going to start raining in nades, but Purdy lines one up right on top of Sparky. He's going to connect onto him. Penta using the crates for cover, looking down into the sidelines, but Gizera trying to hold up the wall, lined up against Penta. Halo's going to take him down, but a big nade from Gizera, going to turn it back around. Blue zone nade on the other side of it is Purdy Curdy trying to fight his way through. It's 2 members up with Purdy on the opposite side, right looking into this blue zone nade. Can he get some shots in? Trying to use his teammates for some type of cover, but he's just going to go down, and that's going to be 0-0 Nation with 8 kills, picking it up. Oddly enough, Fiumba hasn't done much moving either, as Decimate's just going to try to regroup, and...
Oh, never mind.
22 Esports. It looks like this is going to be where they're going to be going to, and this is a pretty split drop, but they got away with it mostly. Rusty Zera is going to have himself a whole bunch of friends.
I don't know, though. Poonage is going to find kill demo. Rusty's going to knock Shinboy, and Shin's going to go down his elevator, down to 3. And so at the very least, they are alive for the time being. And in relative safety, and yeah, they're going to take over this compound. So nice little drop there from Elevate. It's a start. It's something.
Fiumba is still continuing into that Elevate pathing. They're going to have a couple of shots, but not a lot. Decimate's dip is already going to be filled up, so Emmy's going to go for some shots. Does manage to take down Vinny, but that's just going to be bad for both. Capitan's still going to go down, but Fiumba now realizing, hey, we can turn this one back around. Looks in, takes some shots up the top of it. 22 Esports is going to get eliminated at roughly the same time Decimate does. What dip do you think might not be taken, I think is the name of the game, right? Is Vegas is playing this one slow, dude. He does not want to give away his position. And that is going to be... Oh, Vegas. That's okay. Kraken's going to help him out, and Vegas is going to go make sure he gets it.
Yep, Vegas. That was all planned, baby. Vegas is like, all right, I'm going to get him really low. Kraken's going to get the
ZV, no.
Finish it off.
ZV, no, this is not where you want to be. Fiumba is pissed. Nade's now coming out. Amy's already hit onto one of them. That one's going to go really far. Going to connect into Fisher. Rival's going to go down. ZV has been making some amazing rotations, but it's going to go problematic for him. But hey, guess what? Return Nade's going to hit Fiumba now down to just Silzen. And nobody coming out of this one clean, as it is just getting to be a problem.
These brick buildings are fairly conducive to solo play, so I mean they have to be careful, and they're taking their time, as you see, looking for all these angles, making sure that they're not going to get caught off guard, especially this kind of garage gym area that tends to be a bit of a cluster. Oh, that nade bounced back, but it's okay. Snakers realized that. He's going to bounce back. The smokes are what I'm most afraid of, because this is where we do see players kind of get caught, and it's going to be Flood nading his own teammate. Kick goes down.
No, it's going to be about, okay, decommit into the res. Zone is coming in.
Oh no!
They're just trying to get some shots. It all got chaotic. Tiltown gets eliminated, but LG takes some massive casualties out of this. Gotta pick him up, gotta run forward. It's not too far to the zone, and this is only phase 4. It is gonna hit hard, but not enough to probably wipe everybody out. They should be able to get the reses onto it, but this is a
Snakers,
big problem.
nope. Oh, he needed to get Snakers first, so they will lose Snakers, but at the very least, they should get the other 2 members up, unless he switched. That was chaos.
Fiumba's been able to pick up a couple of kills, and you know that means that LG knows that they need to be active as well. 0-0 Nation being more of an aggressor in this situation, as they do have synergy that's going to be pretty closest. Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown's going to run right through, but Gizera's got goals of his own. Looks down, gets the shots into one, almost manages to take down Vinia. Here come the rest of 0-0 Nation. Molotov's going to go out, gets shot in the air and explodes right in front of him, but does not take him down. Support's going to be coming out from LFP. Vinya's going to go, and there we go. Synergy gets taken out, and now it's going to be 0-0 Nation with control of the North.
And 0-0 Nation just continuing again to find success in these games. Again, started a little slow, but making it work, as Slabby's going to be on fire. Dragon Tiger Beryl Showdown really just want to get rid of him so they can start playing the Shack.
not that good kind of on fire, like killing everybody.
Yeah.
It's more just the actual type of on fire, which is very uncomfortable. And hey, look, we found a use for the bang bus, man. It's a defensive wall. I can eat those nades up as Fiumba's trying to use it for that. A couple of long-range fights. SDK is still getting control over the south. They have been much more cautious in their approach, but I do want to point out Pretty Curdy has moved in very close to Fiumba's position.
Yeah, and I mean, those buses are great if you can just get them in. The problem is they're so damn slow, but a beautiful spot for them to currently be in, especially when they've been destroyed. But speaking of destroyed, Fiumba is still not done. Emmy's with 4, and he's just been so damn good this entire series for them. And they're even going to get the res on draft.
Yeah, Ratz can't do too much. LG is playing over into the east and has some vision of what's going to be happening in here. Dragon Beryl Showdown is going to go down. Shoot to kill getting more aggressive as they don't have any options. They're going to have to walk right into the thick of where Elevate's holding onto one line and Fiumba on the other. Fiumba's not getting too aggressive into this as they still know they've got Grant Lannis close. SDK is going to lean into the lower side of this hill going for some shots. And guess what? Sparking's also going to be able to see what's going to be going on with Elevate as 2 members of 00 Nation have now made an aggressive push back into the east. Lunage doing a good job on just trying to hold up, but there's just too many different angles, too many different teams, and it's too hard to stay alive as 00 Nation starting to get more and more control over the circle.
It's really 00 Nation that I think SDK is probably most worried about, especially if they do want to go for a wrap on the west side. So they're going to take some shots here at LG to kind of keep their heads down. And LG, another team that is kind of in trouble right now. They're between a rock and a hard place back to the blue, and they don't really have any options at all. I don't even know if they have a vehicle they can use.
Is he trying to cross through, maybe use the lower sections of the hill? Flood, though, connects on a nade in a big way on Tiggleton. That might give them some option to work with. Blue Zone now is going to be coming in back behind him. Kickstart's got himself the P90. They need to get some harassment out. Do have a vehicle, and they're just going to send it down. Shot's going to come out. Big nade going to go ahead and take down Fiumba as it's all starting to come apart everywhere right now. LG is trying to figure out how they're going to make the play into where Soniqs' position is going to be at, and we have 00 Nation now getting more control over the western side of this. Grant Lannis still alive for the time being, but it looks like they could be pinched any given moment as Sparking's going to be moving forward. STK is now using the lower side of that hill to also try to move into that, while Soniqs are taking some shots, and they have got to be careful with LG's positioning, and 00 Nation has to stop because of all the outside harassment. But guess what? We're not done. Friendly Fire hopping in the vehicles. It looks like they are going to be sending it across. They want to be part of the hillside fight as well.
And LG just doing an absolutely insane job of not only making it across with Flood getting those knocks, but also just continuing to put pressure onto the Soniqs. It is just down to Rilo now as he finds himself in the building underneath Trimsy, but Soniqs is just down to 2 as well. So what an insane battle, the will there for LG to just try to make it work. As they're going to get Flood up too.
Oh, missed him by just a bit. Grant Lannis goes down, and so with this, they go down 6th place. Again, a late game showing coming up from them. Here comes the push from the Soniqs. They got the shotguns ready. Goes for the double tap and pop, pop. There it goes. H1 popping him off. LG is going to go down, but they've got a 10 lead over Fiumba. Fiumba now down as well, so it's going to be 00 Nation to see if maybe they can try to catch up something in this. We do see Friendly Fire getting a lot of shots into 00 Nation, but not getting the knock. But they are using that to try to creep up the hillside. Now shots coming into Sparking means that he's got to move down. He's now separated away from the rest of the team. Mime realizing that's going on, trying to see if he can get something, see if he can try to use this opportunity and exploit it. Gizera having to deal with a full-on front push coming out. Nade's going to connect. Sparking is going to go down. Friendly Fire could use this opportunity to push in, but no, it's going to be LFP that holds up the line. Sharp shot, though, trying to brave up into all of this. Gets a lot of damage up. Retreats back down, but Roth is still going to be able to support him at range. Now moving into it, you can see looking in, trying to keep an eye on what's going on with the Soniqs. Getting the shots out. This is just a sniper duel across while trying to move into the zone. Roth spots out Mime. Gonna get the knock onto him, stopping Soniqs in their tracks. But now it's still gonna be 00 Nation up on the top of it, and Friendly Fire still with 2. Sharpshot looks in, but it's gonna be VHZ that gets the knock.
And Sharpshot, the absolute hero there, saving a potential pour over there, and Roth being by himself. At the very least, damage has been done, and Huynh is gonna find it. As we now see it's down to, what is this, a one-on-one?
1v1.
It is straight up Roth still at that vehicle, but Huynh is actually taking center circle here as well. They're both so close.
Love this. Go ahead and pick up the kills, but that's kind of revealing position. Now juking back and forth. Roth using the higher section of this, trying to get up on top of the vehicle, see if he can break the sight line down into where H1's playing. Meanwhile, H1 using a bush to see if maybe he can break some cover. A lot of mind games being played in, as you said it a second ago. It is going to be H1 with just a bit closer position to that center point, and Roth, who has the cover, can't seem to quite find the angle to work with it yet. smoke's down, we might be seeing a smoke duel happen as both players going to have to be pushing into it. Is H1 going to be more brave, stepping around the side?
That's
Hasn't quite seen him yet. Roth up on top. I think that he's now got the vision into it in some fashion. Goes for the spray into it, but no! It's going to be Roth that gets the better end of that one, and it's going to be 5 kills and Friendly Fire climbing the leaderboard. Soniqs are trying to be the aggressors, but you can see that Soniqs are like, there's just no vulnerability just quite yet. H1 is going to go down to Purdy Curdy. That's going to reveal what's going to be going on inside this leaderboard. Now they're going to have to figure out what's the move. How do we get the shake around it? STK has the numbers advantage, and they've got Purdy. They are holding that angle right up on top of H1, but Purdy cannot go for the heals yet. Adam's still holding this one down. You can see being very, very careful on the peaks. There's going to be footsteps everywhere. Goes for the shots in. That was a quick peek by Shrimsy, but he's going to continue to hold up the line. He's finally going to go down. Quick exchanges between both, and that's going to be STK with 2 members up and Soniqs with 2 members up. Both trying to figure out, okay, where's the safest way to be? But Elevate now getting involved in this third party.
This has actually been such a high-level fight between these two teams in this long building. Elevate finally starting to... Again, they were looking earlier to get involved, and they caught some shots onto the STK side, but still everyone has actually managed to recover, so this is just going to be a complete reset.
Okay, where are we going?
There it is.
Oh, I'm so shocked.
Yeah.
I'm so shocked. Impala with ZV right on top of everything. Oh, we got the fight that's popping off yet again. Tickleton's going to be down. H1 and Mime, though, do manage to get some retaliation back into it. There's going to be STK with just 1 member up. Soniqs with 2.
Wow.
Make it none up for STK. Soniqs win it and are going to only have
Look at
2 members
Future,
up.
though.
And Future, they snuck over here a second ago. They want to get involved, and I don't know if you want to really push this. This is a pretty pissed off team right now, but I don't know. Soniqs looking like they're going to be able to hold down the long house for now. H1 taking a lot of damage, though.
Oh, they absolutely do want to push this. Now, granted, as a duo, I mean, with these long buildings, we talk about how awful they are to push.
Are we still caught on fire?
He is. I think he's... Yeah, he's going to be okay.
He's
The chair's actually... Yeah, the chair's going to save him, but you have to be careful. Now just down to 1. Soniqs, Mime, can he actually hold the line? What a fight Soniqs have just had, but crazy stuff. He's at least going to find a knock, Matt.
Oh, tries to go out for it, but it's going to be Decimate at the top of the hillside. Remember all that vision that it has? Yeah, that's going to be what finishes that out.
Church, okay.
Okay, well, ZV is going to be prepared for that one. That was biting off a bit too much, as now it is just going to be Binya, the last one up.
Oh, man, I feel like that was a misplay. Synergy got in and managed to get at least a foothold. They could have started clearing building by building, working together for trades, but instead they just got a little overzealous and thought it was free.
I mean, you have to assume that this compound is taken. It's one of the more popular compounds. They've already been being harassed from over there. 0-0 Nation's going to go down. Rillo is going to go ahead and line in with Kickstart. It's going to be Vegas and Greg Shot both down as LG do defend the line. And wow, those nades come in quick to make sure that there's nobody else over there. And that's just a good read. I know it is some utility that might seem as wasted, but you don't know how the line came in.
Kind of a rough start for them. Kick is going to get knocked actually by Rebo, but they should be able to get him up, I imagine.
I want to point out ZV has got a massive line that they're holding down from the church all the way in between Elevate and LG. So we'll have to see how that brews up in the future. This is that fight you were talking about just a moment ago.
Speaking of Future.
Yeah, Future going to go ahead and get eliminated. That always just feels so dark whenever I say it, right? It's like, Future is...
Look at Luminosity now going through the city. So many teams. Ratz, Fiumba, and... oh, look. Batunga's just lasered by Kickstart.
But notice Friendly Fire starting to get more control over the high ground opposing them.
Yeah, that was a nice date. Surprise Snaker didn't go down, but Kick is going to finish that kill onto Clow, and now they have a foothold just underneath his mountain, but they're still not in. They have to climb.
They have got to be cautious, though, with Fiumba and their positioning. Fiumba's been hearing what's going to be going, looks back in, but Good Guy is going to be looking in, coming out from help. Decimate gets the knock on to Kavitan. Roth also going to get the knock on to And1. Kickstart spots out what's going to be going on. He's going to get the knock on to Draft King, and now it's just going to be Emmy who's going to have to contend with a massive LG. Keep in mind, look at their armor. Look at their ammo. They have been fighting for so long. They are coming in tattered.
And look at this. Elevate has been sitting here for so long solo, or excuse me, as a duo, but finally they do get found out as Friendly Fire is going to clean that up, and they still have 3 up. In fact, they are now the new center of the circle. This is pretty much where it's going to end. But Haven could technically just shoot down on this, so I don't know. This is such a weird ending. I don't think it's ever ended here before like this. At least I don't remember playing it or watching it or casting it.
That is just such good flashbangs, continually denying that angle off. The blue zone's coming in, so they know if they can just keep on using enough utility to stop anybody from peeking over, they can eventually weather the storm enough, but it's going to be Fakes in looking down from one angle. Kickstart's going to retaliate on the other. Kickstart really can't get too much more. He hears what's happening in front of him, but due to the angle of the hillside, can't get too much. Haven, and it's going to be and one, now starting to look into the Luminosity sight line, and up on top of it, Haven's got to contend in with Pixel. He's going to go down. Decimate sitting at 10 kills, and you can see they've got perfect sight line into how we're going to have to see LG move, but LG sees what's going to be going on with that. Vinny now step up, taking the shots, and Luminosity is going to go down, and it is going to be friendly fire lined up with only 2 members against Decimate. But that being said, Decimate has to move down the hillside. Haven, Vinny, both going to be walking into a trap that is readily being set by Friendly Fire.
Friendly Fire have done an amazing job. Something that Steve actually pointed out, Decimate is pretty much on no ammo. They have used everything from harassing teams, but it doesn't even matter. They're going to find the win anyways with 14 kills. What a nice performance, but really it was utilizing that hilltop that we're talking about, that plateau that gave them so much vision and such an advantage.
I guess that's what Savage's job is, but this is getting painful to watch.
I mean, it's the second knock now. At least Elevate's getting points. I mean, it is unfortunate it's at the expense of Tilt Town, but if they're going to make something happen, they just basically need to start going for these drops, getting aggressive, and just try to get as many points and kills as they can, especially if they could somehow just string together an early hot drop game plan with a win as well. That would be a lot of points for them to accrue.
I mean, I guess if you're just going to pre-fire it somewhere, and that would be pretty good. Punij is going to be able to get down onto Clemson, and that's going to be all of
They're going to recover.
Eliminated.
4 points.
Elevate's going to be able to get the res on it, and yeah, that's going to put them in touching range of Yellow Jackets. So,
and I'm sure it's
all right.
Yeah, they
that's
basically
wild.
got into church, but this is, I mean, this is still a bit of a troublesome situation because although they're in right now, if that gets cut out, rotating out of church sucks.
And no vehicles. No vehicles. That is the downside that we haven't really had a chance to talk about a lot, is if you emergency pick up into a position, the circle shifts away, you came in with nothing. SDK,
Here comes SDK!
They were scouting this. What do you want to bet that they were thinking that they can maybe come into this one, and if they're going to get held out, Penta is going to get the shot on the Alley RB, but Birdie Curdy's going to go down. Penta's going to get spotted. Rainbow's not going to let that one go. And STK down to 1 member. See, here comes the send. Ratz gonna move down into Fiumba's line. DraftKings got the nade prepped. Silson's gonna go ahead and take down Finna, and the Rats are coming to pieces there. Not even a single member down for Fiumba just yet. Grant Lannis finally gets the knock on 1, but he's only got 2 HP, and he's gonna go down. Very solid defense from Fiumba. Elevate having the same idea that ZV had, that's the same idea that STK had. They at least stopped in the right spot. They crash into the outside building that only had 1 member, and I'm shocked. Absolutely shocked that Yellow Jackets well, I guess there was a distraction going on with 0-0 and Dragon Tango. So, as you can see, this is why they weren't shooting them on while they were making their landing, is it's got it all up close in each other's faces. Just the hillside separating them out, and I don't know if Vegas has the full read on that one. He's going to drop it in, but some long-range support's going to be coming in from Haven as he gets a knock on PHZ. Finally going to step in, and yes, Vegas is going to get the knock on Sparking and walk away. Well, crawl away.
Crawl away, but yeah, I mean, that position that 00 Nation has is easily the best one in this entire circle. They actually
Not
have...
crawl away.
Churches can definitely be obnoxious as well, but at least you have a little bit more room to work with. Rebo's going to find Punij there as a second knock. Rebo is going super here.
It's them shields, man. They're blocking out so many of the entrances, stalling just enough. It means the fact that people are falling at head height. Elevate makes the push in, but he's starting to regret it. Gats at least manages to make football inside of it. Going for some shots on Cluzera, and you can see that throwable coming up right back behind Gats. He knows he has to move around, but there's no cover to be had. He's going to go down. ZV still holding it together, but that was enough time for a res. Here comes Ethan, now finally finding it. It's going to be Elevate picking up the kills, and they're starting to aggress into Yellow Jackets positioning.
And Soniqs has actually moved out of position where they can even gatekeep that. So LG is pretty much free to do whatever they want on the outside of this position, as Soniqs now finding themselves in a fight with SG.
Got some smokes down in that line to try to block out Binya and his sight line that he has prepped up. Mine was staying back behind to try to defend, but Blue Zone going to be right on his heels as he's coming into this one. Mime is going to go down to the blue zone. Very hard to navigate. LG has spotted out what's happening here, is now taking some shots into what's going to be going on. Don't manage to pick up the kill inside of that one, but now with the shots coming out from the rest of SG onto Soniqs, that's allowed a reposition from Vinia, but now Yellow Jackets coming in back behind, thinking maybe they can pick up some kills. Going to go for the shots into Synergy, and that's going to provide an Aleve moment for Soniqs as the new circle is going to pop, and it is actually going to favor this eastern front.
Yeah, they really needed to get a knock there. Not getting it pretty much put them at a disadvantage. At the very least, they did find Benya, but Kane, now Batunga's just the last two members, and he's going to go for that res. Meanwhile, LG doing a lot to harass the Soniqs.
Yeah, and now Soniqs have had to put their positioning and line up to the north, and that looks like what they're going for. God, Tiggleton is coming up big with Shrimzy. Two members now down. Tiggleton, the last one up, as we have seen Shrimzy go down inside this one. Looking back up that hill, two members of LG, and he knows the fact that this is going to be a very hard fight. We're going ahead, wrap up the day. Fiumba is going to go down right now, opening up an opportunity, and that is going to be Kickstart taking a massive nade. Now, Half-Life goes for the spray, does get the knock. Tig finding this one, working his way up the hill, making sure to secure the hill, knows where Rello is already going to be at, but that's going to be a big chunk of damage that's going to hit on the Tig. He's going to go for the nade, doesn't have it, gonna go down. Nade's going to bounce out, not going to take down Rello, does get some damage, but guess what? 0-0 Nation's going to try to capitalize and see if they can get something out of it. Going to be spraying back down into it while Synergy is contending in with the new front of ZV moving out. There's a lot of storylines that are leading into this as SG just wants to get anything they can. Friendly Fire is going to get eliminated, opens it up, and we're now in our top 4. 0-0 Nation eyeing that eastern line.
Don't forget about Synergy. They could absolutely have a big game here and get at least another 10, 15 points maybe and put themselves at 60, so just under 9th place. I mean, this is very huge as Pippa's going to eat that nade. ZV started to move up now and put some damage. They realize they get that knock, but 0-0 Nation as well, a team that's very dangerous right now with their position.
And has to be careful because 0-0 Nation has their attention. So it's multiple teams now with ZV in their sightlines. Look at the kill lineups coming out from him. Ribbo is going to connect onto Greg Shot and should be able to get the flush in. He is so close, but while that's going on, Cluzera did go down. Danny now looking out, trying to figure out what's going on around him. Big exchange as it is going to be Synergy finding some successes inside this, using the opportunity that ZV has provided for them. Every team now being in the lower 50% of the circle, it's looking like Cowboy has the circle control, but with that nade, Benya does get the knock on a Sparking, but VHC, yet again, finding a good angle, getting the knock in. Benya's going to come up, trying to see if he can get some more out of it, but VHC's going to take a lot of damage. Finally, 0-0 Nation is out of this one. Danny is down right now as well, so Synergy going to get control over the east. Nade's now starting to go down ZV's direction. These teams are fighting for the 7, 8, and 9 kills between them. They have been fighting tooth and nail to get into this stage, coming in weakened. It's going to be Honey Badger that leans down, does get the knock onto 1, but he takes a chunk of damage down to just 8. Cluzone's going to be coming in back behind him. He's going to go down Cluzera, but now it's going to be Synergy with Danny taking the shots. It's going to be 3 members of Synergy looking down into the 2 solos, and it's just going to be mopping it up right now. Synergy now moving up into 10 kills. It looks like their focus is down to the south, and that is a small benefit for Cowboy, who is playing much closer to that northern side. Cluzera, though, has the zone back behind him, and he's going to have to move, and Synergy knows it. They're keeping one person lined up into it. Is he even going to try to go over the fight? Nade's going to connect, and that was just a clean push coming out from Synergy as they're going to start assaulting that middle of the pack.